Sometimes the eyes were just too far apart or too close together, or her cheeks were a little too thin or a little too wide. Sometimes her hands lacked the calluses of a seamstress, but other times they were gnarled and thick from long days holding scissors and needles. She wore a gown some days, and others a simple work frock, and on others still she wore nothing at all. She was never the same, but always the same, never there, but always present. A ghost of the heart Viego no longer possessed. Time for another champion detective video. We know that ISOLDE, Viego's wife and queen, will be the next champion, and like we knew from the champion's dev video, not only her, but the next
3 new champions we will be releasing this year will also tie into Viego's return. Now for a while, we've been wanting to add more magic damage fighters, especially one tailor-made for top lane. We believe snipping a bigger space out of our roster for AP fighters will not only lead to more diversity in top lane, but also more choices for other lanes as well. And with that goal in mind, we began to sew together a new champion for the Ruined King's return. But where do their loyalties lie? With Viego or with Senna and Lucian in the fight for hope?
So it's pretty obvious ever since that video that ISOLDE will be the next champion. Viego tried everything to save her of her illness, causing the ruination of the Blessed Isles, until he managed to revive her. But ISOLDE arose a horrifying wraith of shadow and rage, and in her pain, anger and confusion at being ripped from death, she took Viego's blade and thrust it through his heart. But he did come back. So where does this leave ISOLDE then? This season will be a pretty story-related one for new champions, since the next 3 champions will all be related to Viego, Lucian and Senna. People already speculate that Lucian's father, Urias, will be one of the next champions, and that we already see a mark in the cinematic lighting up. But Viego is still obsessed with finding ISOLDE. Just listen to his voice lines.
ISOLDE was my life. Viego died when she did, and the Ruined King was born. ISOLDE, I could not see myself in your eyes. ISOLDE, I know it is you. Show yourself to me. ISOLDE.
But what about her? Maybe she will side with Senna and Lucian and try to stop Viego. It's been a long time since she was revived, and she was just a wraith without a body when she was revived. Maybe she did get a body in the meantime, and will be a sort of Sylvanas Banshee Queen, or she could remain a ghost. The only glimpse we have of her so far is in the She story that I mentioned at the start. In that painting on the left, where we see a still alive Viego, we had a concept of this in his inside too, and the ripped part is where ISOLDE was. We just see her hand, that apparently only has 4 fingers, and part of her head. Looks like she had red hair. But Viego had brown hair too, and now it's white, because you know he's 2000 years old and also dead. So she probably will look very different from how she did when she was alive. But what about her abilities? Well, we know she'll be an AP top laner and she was a seamstress, plus they keep mentioning sewing, needles and scissors, and that she kept looking different every time Viego tried to remember her. So how could that play out? It can leave quite a lot of interesting design choices for her skills. Maybe if she got a body now and isn't a ghost, she could make herself different outfits that each change her playstyle, or she could sew materials onto enemies, give Mordekaiser a skirt and make him feel bad, unless he's into that, or just tie them with strings and stun them. Another idea would be that she could control needles with her mind and move them around, and you'll be able to sort of paint patterns with them and then cut the string with scissors when you want to end the cast. Like the Ink Mage concept they had years ago that was cancelled. And according to SpiderX, she'll be developed by Stashu, Maxwell, Skip Tommy Luo, Zeronis, and Lonwingi, and Stashu previously worked on Kiana, Aphelios, Rel, and a couple reworks including Evelyn and the upcoming Udyr rework, so maybe she have some similarities. But both Aphelios and Rel had abilities that change their movesets, so that outfit swap that affects her playstyle could make sense. And in the same tweet, Riot Blues replied with scissors and a needle yet again, so it's pretty obvious that her weapons will be those. She's a ghost, she can run with scissors. I think she will be a ranged champion though. Would be pretty funny to have a melee 2000-year-old wraith stab you with needles and cut you with scissors from melee range. So probably she'll throw some magical needles as her auto attacks, and use the scissors to cut strings when casting abilities that make her so staff. And about her ultimate, honestly, I have no idea here. We know they always say words that are related to the champion in those dev teaser videos, and what we had there was tailor-made for top lane, snipping, and so. But what could the ultimate be like? Maybe some heavy AoE ability, stunning everyone around, throwing strings on enemies and taking control over them like puppets? Something like that perhaps could work. But that's all we know so far about ISOLDE. We're probably going to get her in a patch or two, and we're going to get more teasers about her probably very soon. There's also going to be a teaser for her in the Ruined King game, and that game didn't come out yet, so she'll probably come out after that game. So we don't really have a release date for the game yet, so we don't know how soon that will happen. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.